Hello everyone, this is Fantastic Worlds. Welcome you back to Lovecraft Country and the perennial favorite, Book of Hours. Yes, it's been a while since we've returned back to Hush House, but given I just dropped a Hush House lecture, I've got kind of in the mood, and, I was going to let Worship's Cthulhu sit for a bit before we came back to it, and, for the holiday season, return back to, well, the closest this channel has to a home. Any case, so for those of you who may be just catching up with us, if you're new, yeah, Hush House is a mystical library full of secrets, ancient, and we are the librarian. People come to consult with us. We organize the books. We uncover ancient secrets and conspiracies. We plunge into the metaphysical tree of wisdom in order to try to relocate aspects of our soul. We sharpen our skills and generally just have a little bit of fun. Now, today's a red letter day, as we're currently having somebody doing a consultation simultaneously. I'm looking at my soul cards here. I've got a few missing, which means that I was probably up all night last episode doing a lot of work, like gardening or watering. But I did check, and I do want to be getting some of this precious honey, because we can get either honey or beeswax for this. I have hello. Yep. Apparently, I started doing the library game, and the cat reappears. There's a cat in this game. I'll show it to you. It's based off of one of Alexis Kennedy's and oh god, I've forgotten her name. My apologies. Cats called Sulashana. Based off of the character you may remember in Cultist Simulator is running the Assidious Club. Oh god, I know I've mispronounced that horribly. Apologies, it seems to be a trademark of mine. Anyways, let's throw in rights to the root. Now this will hopefully get honey or beeswax from the hive. It'll take a minute and a half. And that is that. Now, meanwhile, I actually want to do some cooking, too. Because we do the cooking because we want to have salons in which we invite all of the occult people to know, and we learn secrets from them. Now, normally we get secrets from books, but the books are eventually going to run out. In fact, we're getting towards endgame. We only got 2 rooms in the mansion that we haven't uncovered yet, and we've only got, let's see, maybe a couple handfuls of books here. But we can have endless amounts of parties because, god damn it, occultists are usually poor to some degree, unless you're working for the government like Connie, in which case you're probably doing okay and you've got the promise of a pension. But I'm thinking we're going to use the drippings with rich leek or onions onions to make onion soup, because I don't think we have any onion soup. But what I will need, let's see, I think I can put herb in here, because herb, if you recall from my lecture, is melancholy, and you can cook with melancholy, which is kind of weird, mind you, but we can. Yeah, I'm working with it. Yeah, this dish will have a resonance with edge, heart, moon, and nectar, which sounds about right. We'll both throw some leeks into. I may have to grab some vegetables to do that, but let's get that knocked out, shall we? And probably we should consider doing some ordering because it looks like I'm out of beef. I mean, I've got mackerel. Wow, how much honey do I have? Is that the only honey I have? Wow, running low. I'd like to keep at least 2 of most ingredients just kicking around. I've got a wine cellar. It's completely full, by the way. Baskets of vegetables. Can be eaten raw, but probably not the best. Maybe we'll tackle that. Gifts from the garden. I forgot. Is the basket of vegetables the one you can break down? Can you do that? Nope. It'll just allow us to consume it, which might give us a satisfaction memory card, which isn't really big when I'm going through. Now, I am going to try to raise skills as we go along, and the next one listed is bells and braziers. Now, in order to do that, I'll need 3 memories that could resonate with either forge or sky, which is actually pretty easy, because we have the sunny card, which is the weather card, which is considered to be a memory card. Okay. And we've got this lesson, Sacra Soltis Invicti, which has a blue resonance, because you require at least 1 resonance. But we also have Wind and Waiting, Ascendant Harmony, and Dynamis. We have all the music-based ones, which are actually pretty easy to reconstruct. So, what we should probably do, since we only have 1 of these memories, persistent memories sticking around at any one time, is that we should, let's grab bells and braziers. Thinking probably, which soul fragments can we toss in here? Boss shaft. Let's throw in one of the lesser metal ones. Okay, and we'll need a lesson. Which will be this one. Now I'll need to feed every slot with memories, including one power aspect, including at least one lesson. Now, Sunny, we want to use that up first, as our weather cards are going to disappear at the end of the day. We also can throw in Ascendant Harmony, which is extraordinarily easy to create. And the question is Wind in Waiting or Didymus, or Earthquake Name. Really, Didymus tends to be... Well, takes a couple of steps, but this will allow us to increase our belts and braziers, which means that we can include it on a higher level of the tree, as well as it just being a more powerful skill. So we're going to be doing some self-teaching today on top of everything else. Alright, so I'm thinking we don't have any exhausted soul fragments yet. Do we need any money, is what I'm thinking. I mean, money's pretty freaking easy to do. Yeah, any of these will do. But, for example, if I do fat, I'll get mending. Yeah, and that'll get me that'll give me 6 pence. And I can immediately turn around and spend 2 of it in order to regenerate the metal. So we'll do that. Okay, anything else we might need? I could do some beachcombing. Okay, we'll get... let's just grab some tryst here. And, let's see, knowledge. We don't need too much, but, how about... Which skill do you want to use? It doesn't really matter. Path and Pilgrim will do. It looks like we should be on a beach. We'll do some beachcombing to see what we retrieve. In addition, we can also run over here. I am overclocking, by the way, because I'm just kind of wanting to do everything. It's been a while. Or we can take a Fost here, toss that in. And then we can just take that one. Nope. Alright, so cool. We need... Anaberry and Lanaberry. There you go. Do some gathering. And, of course... Do we have anything left we can do gardening with? Or we're going to have to regenerate those. We can regenerate both. Ooh, I can do this. Ooh, add a suitable skill. Actually, let's double check this. I want to make sure we have room for all of the vegetation. Let's check the root cellar. Where the heck did I... there it is. Yeah, we got plenty of the sacked vegetables. Don't think we can actually... Can we fit one in there? No. That's about a max amount. We don't need any root vegetables. And I already checked. We've already got 2 of the grapes. I don't usually like to have more than 2 of the basic ones. Vegetables, vegetables, and vegetables. And also check for flowers. We're fine with those. So, yeah, we can let it roll for a bit. Now, another thing to consider is that I think I can convert these, if I do this property, into leeks, which means you also can make leek soup. But we'll have to wait until we can get one of our slots open for that one. Sigh. But yes, this is kind of how the game goes. It's literally like, being in a remote occult library, which, you mostly get to do what you want to. All right, that was one of our orders. We have to check to see what we get. I think we're short on beef. Should be able to afford some. Yeah, you can actually do mail delivery, which is kind of fun. All right, and boom. Okay, first of all, let's collect this one. We have the living relic. Oh yeah, we had to feed the beast. I remember that one. But what we can do immediately is we can collect that memory, throw in the exhausted health, grab a cup of water. Let's get that knocked out. In a minute 30, we'll be feeling just fine. Now we need... Oh, and we're already replacing the water, so that's good. All right, then. Now, do we... That should cause us to consume it, wouldn't it? Can't talk to the vegetables? Why can't I talk to the vegetables? It's an occult game. People talk to the vegetables now. All right, so we need to find a place to stash the turtle. I think I recall putting it in the temple. I just think that, the warm underground is where the beasts would be happiest, here in the temple. Oh, that's a gratitude for you. Who knew turtles were so nasty? All right, drop water, good. That's going on. Once we're done over here, we'll regenerate the health 30 seconds from now. Okay. So, right. And, yeah, we have room to break this down. So let's grab the serving cart back here at the cafeteria. Yeah, this game took I've been in this game for a while. That will convert it into 2 cups of water eventually. All right, so While that's going on. Alright, so bells and braceries now level 4. Throw the delivery in. Open the package. Excellent. Alright, deep breath, everyone. Oh yeah, there's the other package. Alright, so refill, start. Well, there's 2 things of water shortly, and that will open up in a bit too. Sorry, we haven't even gotten the front door open yet. Alright, so pour it out. There you go. Now those 2 waters, since they will generate, they will regenerate one of our soul fragments. I usually keep by the bed that I use. Now normally I'm supposed to be using the library's bed, which is next door, but oh my god, I've got like 5 bedrooms here, and I'm going to be picking the one I want, which I think is kind of cool. I like the 19. I like the. I'm not sure what aesthetic is. It does have elements of the flapper era, but it's got that older Edwardian look to it. I did replace the couch, however. I like this one better. My couch. Also, yeah, I'm thinking of just going through room by room, starting from the top and working our way down, and just doing some examinations, like the Spire. Here, Hendrik de Wolf. This is originally the castles of the de Wolf. Or not originally, it was for a while. Before then, it was a monastery, and before that, it was a temple. Met in secret with King Henry, once the Bronze King, now Old Copper Nose, for the great debasement that had ended the supremacy of the Least Flame. The War of the Least Flame is a war that was lost to history and concealed, in which the adepts of the Forge made really big weapons of war and made war with the churches, which there are 2 churches in this timeline, one of which is the Sister of the Knot, which represents the divine feminine, but has been driven underground, but not quite as badly as it is in our world. There's like a bunch of nunneries which are dedicated to the goddess that the church kind of overlooks, because every now and then they kind of need some primordial sorcery kicking. Henry heirs that were no more than human. This is actually not that far off if you know anything about some nuns, which including like Hildegard, Buren, oh god, I can't remember, the woman who's obsessed with bees. She basically created her own mystic language, was a visionary, created sacred music, and that's kind of what we know what she was doing with her time. We have no idea what else she was doing. Honestly, I think that she probably was a sorceress. Least Flame, Henry's heirs were no more than human. In other words, Henry's the last of a divine bloodline. In other words, the bloodline has gone thinned out completely. There's a story that Hendrik's son Thomas listened from the rafters. That 3 times he heard Henry ask his father to break a certain promise in the matter of Sker Yis beyond the way, which is the hidden city, which has all been a major plot point. Nobody's really had any idea what it's about. And the 3rd time, the father did not refuse the king. This, says the story, is why Thomas never liked to make a promise thereafter for fear of breaking it, because he never was able to do so. This is also the Gothic period when this was created, from the early 16th century. Sisters of St. Brennan. Yeah, the thing is, in 1534, the Bronze King Henry dissolved the foundation, exiled the brethren, and gave the isle to the family de Wolf. Like I said, it was originally a holy site to the possibly the Sun Undivided, a center of learning, and then obscure one. Basically, we're kind of being the first ones back. And if you check, this Spire prospect can be used as a workstation. But what I want to do is I'm thinking what we should do is just start going through item by item on these and the background and such, and just trying to figure out the entire history of this place. Something to do. And while we're waiting for our guest, anyways. Meanwhile, I don't think I need to talk to or consume anything at the moment, so yeah, kick it. And who do we have today? Now, one of the good things about this... Ooh, there's no one en route. Apparently, we've exhausted all possible individuals for a solution with this one. Now, the thing is, we can summon people in order to fix the problems. And to be fair, the story has no beginning or end. Arbitrarily, one chooses the moment of experience which should look back in which to head. Graham Greene. Incident is full of seeing its full complement of visitors and is concluded. There will be an interval before the next incident when a visitor will see a general consultation. Right. In other words, we'll get at one that's just looking for a general consultation to just say, hey, I'd like to learn some stuff. All right, so pheasant. Looks like, oh my god, almonds and beef and... Oh, first of all, collect almonds, beef, and pheasant. Roasted or add butter if you jug it. I think we've got both of those, but let's double check that. I don't think we've... Yeah, we're actually short on... We're short on a lot of things. I mean... I'm trying to remember. Do we have... Yeah, we do have some other storage spots here and there. Like, we had a whole... Yeah, we're actually very short on food. Now, jugging this Do we have any butter in the pantry, though? That's a problem. I don't think we have any butter. Got creamed sugar. With bread, fudge, without bread. Sticky toffee. Let's check the dessert tray. Yeah, we have a dessert tray. Sticky toffee, pure whip, Madria cake, apple charlotte, fudge, apple pie, and we do not have... Oh, hang on one second. Right, metal. Get some cash going there. And, first of all, let's grab health fatigued. I'd like to bring the health one back first before we do anything else. And let's throw in a shilling. No. Alright, we have to start that, then throw in a florin, I guess. It's summer, and I'm sitting on the bench outside the Sweet Bones, eating crumbly cheese and nettle wrappings and good black rye red soaking up the sun. It's a day. Alright, and we have onion soup. Yum. Just enough of tang to tantalize. 1 edge, 2 heart, 1 moon, 1 nectar. And we exhausted that particular that. So let's add this to our collection over here, although it is starting to... Yeah, we're going to have to start dividing up again. Now, this is considered to be a first course, so we may have to divide by first courses here. Oh, there's some... Nope, that's just where more alcohol is. I actually ran out of spaces in the alcohol. I should probably do some drinking or something. Right, I figure what we can do is start putting them up here. So here's the onion soup. All the way we can go. There we go. Look, I told you here. Is there a problem here? There, is that difficult? Right, so I actually want to create some leek soup. So the best way to do that is to probably investigate soul card, throw in anything basically, throw in the Faust. Now I want to identify as marrow, pumpkin, onions, or leeks. Now we've got the onion soup. We are going to pick the leeks out of this. Now in order to replace that, we're going to have to hit here, grab chore, and do some leaves and thorns here. Or replacing that bag. Big on replacing things. Right, so. And let's see if we can get the pheasant going. We do not have any butter, which is a problem. I can't actually churn butter here, which is one of the things that annoys me to some small degree, because I'd love being able to do that. Just get me the churn, get me a cow, damn it. We also have to figure what we're going to do with the cream sugar, because I've already got some of those. I mean, can you do something else with cream sugar? Cream sugar with an egg, does that produce something? Come on. Oh, we're out of eggs, too. Woof. Man, we're just out of everything. I came back here. Oh, my God. You two need to be fed. Okay, so what do we feed you? Let's see. We need something we don't normally use a lot of. I've got anything over 2. Well, those are magic pears. Regular pears, on the other hand, are pretty easy to hear now. Honey is too expensive. Potatoes. I suppose we should probably just give you a sack of vegetables and just be done with it. All right. You'll feel... Oh, effort. Gotta use effort, too. One of the ones we're probably not going to use any further. Let's say whist. Let's go. All right. There you go. Oh, my God. We're so behind in so many things. All right. So do we want to do the pheasant? Roast it. We can just straight up roast it. Roast it with some drippings. Ooh, that sounds good. Making myself hungry. Maybe this game is the right one to play before we hit Thanksgiving. Anyways. Herb again, I guess. Looks like you can't combine drippings in a pheasant. I'm very disappointed, actually. Roast a pheasant. Don't we have a roast pheasant already? Just want to make sure before we go any further. You, down. Yeah, I don't actually see a roast pheasant. That's the first dish, isn't it? Side dish, actually. Is that a first course? Yes. Fried mushrooms on toast. It's first course. We'll transport that, which means you will have time to roast a pheasant. There you go. We don't have any butter to do it properly, but we can get it done. Also, we should probably get the almonds in place. Need to back into the pantry. It's probably more almonds than I want, but I'm not entirely sure I'm timing this properly. Yeah, there we go. Put the almonds here. Put the almonds here. There you go. And the meat usually stored in the kitchen. Now, you don't have to worry about anything going bad around here. There's a stasis spell on the on this place, which why it's designed to protect the books. It did during a particularly nasty fire. What's hilarious is that it also works on the food. Therefore, any food you can do that on indefinitely. It's like just a gourmand's masterpiece here. God, I haven't used the alchemy lab in a while. Looks a little barren. Yeah, the thing is, once you start doing cooking other types of alchemy, and then yes, it is alchemy, it is chemistry, it is organic chemistry. That's what cooking is. Sloppy organic chemistry, as my teacher once called it. But there you go. We'll just slowly but surely start to restock ourselves, as it were. Speaking of which, we should, now I can't get that delivery going yet, but we should probably consider what we're going to be ordering next. All right. So let's grab this, grab the ink, which we'll need. Order form. What do we want? We don't want almonds. Begin again. Oh, we already have more than enough. I don't think we need arsenic. We're not cooking that type of cooking. Okay, we'll need some beef, I think. Only got one. Plums, pheasant. Well, we'll need the other type of pheasant. What I desperately need, however, is... not here, though. We should probably grab the pheasant. And then... let's just add that for the moment. Possibly another beef. I'll probably cook... we've already got some cooked beef. Alright, so, first things first. Basket of leeks. So we're going to make some leek soup, too. Alright, so let's get that knocked out, shall we? Drippings, right? Okay, so. Excellent. Now, let's put this in again, and we'll put in some beef, because I'm definitely doing some cooking with that beef, alright? Alright, excellent. Sigh. So let's get... before the guys even arrived, I've already cooked like 3 seconds of the meal. Now we're currently using that kitchen, but fortunately, we got a bunch of kitchens. Alright, so, what can we use? Soul. Alright, whisk could do herb, or let's do herb, I think. Let's grab these two, and that. Make leek soup, which is also a yummy thing. Alright, now the reason we do this is that different soups have different types of resonances, which work with different people to loosen their tongue better. Yeah. It's like... I become a social butterfly in this game. Which is mostly for my own, selfish reasons, mind you. Who the heck? Ah! Francois Stanislav Jean Chalier. A priest, diplomat, gardener, soft-voiced man with a very steady gaze. I don't trust him. I don't trust anybody in this universe. See, the only way you can get ahead in this broken universe is it's like dying. It's by messing up somebody else and taking from them. Be anything from money to souls. Alright, so let's do that for now. Once we have the other order form in, we'll fill that one in as well. Okay, so. Side. It's easy to spend money in this game. Harder to get it back. Because you gotta work over here to do so. And you can do that simultaneously with also regenerating skills. Alright, so. Pause for a moment. Nothing particular afoot. This visitor wants a general consultation. Now what he wants is to talk about heart or nectar. So I'm going to try to find a heart book, a level 4. And we shall converse as soon as that's ready to go. Now I can, if I wanted to, have him stay over by showing him to a bedroom, but we'll be done with him soon enough. It's not to worry. Yeesh. Right, we've got some driftwood fragments. It's good. It can be used for a few things. Ah, honey. Excellent. And now a gull's egg I can actually use for cooking. Crazy as it is. Alright, so we've got one kitchen still, which is a really weird one. It's underground. In the Hall of Voices, where the priestesses prepare meals that should not be seen by others. And you can use your imagination for that. Now, can I actually cook this egg, though? That'll just hatch the egg. Ooh, it'll create another gull. I don't need another gull. But can I use the egg with the meringue, the cream stuff? Where is it? I mean, gull eggs just may not be functional with this sort of thing. No, unfortunately not. But it is an egg. It will allow me to do certain things that eggs can do. Side. Alright, let's get the honey up and going too. I know we could probably just transfer the honey over here. We've got more than enough room. Alright, so I'm trying to classify things easy to find. We're keeping the non-meat over here. Though some things tend to be correspondingly. Like fungus, for example, is protein, yet it's not meat. Alright, so let's get moving. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with the wood. Alright, yeah, that's a lot of stuff we ordered. Holy cow. Well, we've got the butter now for the pheasant. Not this much good, mind you. Oh, good lord. Sugar. We got so much sugar. I forgot about that. Okay, so I've been keeping the sugar over here. In the room next to it. Where did the sugar go? Oh, come on. It should... Thought I would have it on top here, but it's... Alright, so it's... I guess we're putting it here. Now the sugar will show up eventually. Like I said, milk we don't have to worry about going bad. We've got stasis spell going on it. There you go, milk. You can actually serve milk for by itself, obviously. Although, given the amount... Maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe we should put things actually in a pantry. What a thought. I mean, I really went through last game. Last time we did this game and started cooking like crazy. Which I will be doing again, mind you. There it is. Thank you. I guess that's the clue. We should be just using this until we get to real overflow territory. All right, where are we in here? Okay. I think I can probably get this stuff over here. Maybe. Yep. I had it. I saw that overflow. There you go. There you go. Isn't that great? I do what I'm doing, but I'm enjoying it. All right, so are we done feeding the beast yet? Apparently not. All right, well, if we do that, we'll get a standard hen's egg, which will definitely be a plus. So I have to figure out... Maybe I take the chore. Nope, doesn't work, unfortunately. So... Okay, yeah, I got a lot of stuff to do here. Okay, so... Look, I've got something in the oven, Francois. I'll be with you as soon as possible, okay? Meanwhile, we're talking about doing something. The only thing up here of any note is the gull. We'll investigate it with one of the lower grade fets. Inspect the beast. I know it's more rewarding to actually talk with the beast, but... Oh, hang on, everyone. There you go. Pause, please. Okay, we've got some regeneration going on here. Meanwhile, what I will do is I will set this immediately to another health. Simply because the amount of time I have in order to gather this is only for summer and spring. And spring's moving along. I mean, summer's moving along. It never lasts long enough, actually. Simultaneously, I'll take the other health, and we'll take another nap, shall we? Water being the cheapest way to do that. Yes, this is all, like, happening simultaneous, which is hilarious. Standard roast rate pheasant. Oh, well. We'll get the jugged one shortly. But meanwhile, let's get this over. And I'm thinking what we'll do, since this has got the largest tables here, we'll start putting the main course here. Okay? I think we've got this for a main course. That will be this symbol right here. Actually, yeah, we can just check. It's only two. The two main courses we have are stuffed dark marrow and marinated roast beef. Oof. Oops, it is watering, by the way. Oh, gods. That's the thing, having a sedentary lifestyle. I mean, the lifestyle of the librarian. You have so much time for your habits. All right, thank goodness. Francois, look, we'll talk. Bless you, and bless the house you serve. Now, this can either be an incident, a readable card, or a tally. This would teach me a language. And the language he knows is Latin, Greek. He knows crack track. We need crack track. We need crack track. Give me crack track. Because I've got a whole bunch of them. Visitor can teach me the rudiments of the primal language we call underwhelmingly crack track. Because there's no language for that, language in that language, which is a language of stone elementals, by the way, in case you're wondering. Francois, you and I are going to be friends. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get your card by doing this, I'm thinking. Oof, perhaps I should have done it a different way. But it's done, so therefore, it's done. Leek soup. All right. There we go. I cannot believe that you're not a main course. You're just a first course. Sheesh. This could be first or side. What do you do with the multiple choice ones? Maybe we'll just leave them here for now. So it's kind of a backup thing going here. Meanwhile, since you are most definitely only a main course, hang on. let's get you up here. Yeah, I should have done the consultation with the Francois first. That would probably have gotten me his card, and I could have summoned him back to learn that. Oh well, live and learn. Die and reboot. Okay, so... Oh, right. And we want to zip over here. So this is either going to gather cash or regenerate a thing. Now, we're already at the halfway point, and I honestly don't know if we're going to be doing a lot today, because, like I said, it's kind of a low-laying day, but we'll do some fixing and mending. And, you know, more cash, since we're going to be spending a lot, apparently. Okay, we need more pheasant, obviously. Let's grab the cave. This is usually the form we spend the most on. Right, ordering supplies. We need to add ink. Remember what... Sorry, this game, I was just living in that cottage. I thought that was a lot, but oh my god, I've got a whole castle now. Alright, so butter, milk, flour, drippings. We don't need to order drippings, we can make those. Sugar, honestly, we're going to be using one butter for the pheasant when we get that, so we might as well just put this in for now. So we have it loaded up. We don't have to ship it until we're gonna just add up these things. Now, of course, we need to put... Where have I been putting the we've got a piece of driftwood already, but we can stick that there. Wow. I'm actually curious how much shelf space we've got left. You know, shouldn't the paint be back in the closet where I usually keep it? Well, I can do that there. Yeah, where's the closet? We've got so much stuff here. Storage can be literally crazy. Alright, so... Ooh, we're not keeping the... it must be in the back closet over by the prison. Yeah, we have a prison here. Long story. Yeah, here we go. Just toss it back in here. I can make moth gold paint at will because I've got the recipe for it. Get that going. Alright, so... Now we got that planned. Also, we should probably regenerate some of our, memories I just used up. Yeah, okay, so we'll get back here. We'll grab these two. Okay, 6 we need. Let's see, alright, so... Oh, Foss will do. That's an awakened feather, we don't want that. Xanathok essence? Nope. Some of the musical ones we need, right? So phonics, that's it. It's in harmony with one of the memories. It conjures the sky music, so let's rock. Dilodamos will require the 15 in that. Okay, so... Well, in the back, just humming. While he's teaching us how to read Earth Elemental. Kind of hope. Well, you know, he made some money. Ooh, got over 3 pounds. I feel rich. 3 pounds in 1938. Okay. Why would it fly when it can get free food? Oh, yes, that's a thing. That's literally all there is to it. That's why it chills around here. So... And that's all that's in this room, so... Oh, can you hear the bells? Bells. Giver, Teller, Sure's Tongue, Lady Janice, and Great Paycock are the names of these bells, though they're much older than the Abbey itself, and those names have certainly corrupted over the years. By 1915, Sure's Tongue and Lady Janice were too cracked to ring, and Suppression Bureau paid for them to recast. Serena Blackwood quid pro quo for this since she gave George collars with his clock project. Now, all of these interconnect, so if I find the right documentation and information, I will do so. Now, collars, remember, is... Collars is... Where'd you... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Blackwood? You bitch. Blackwood gave collars. He's been doing the human and inhuman experimentation on elemental beings in order to try to further his curiosity a la Nazi style. Is an utter monster. If this Blackwood, okay, so Blackwood down 2 points in my estimation if she did that. The only thing we have in here is another seagull, so we don't want to tackle that. But Tower Clock, George Collars, governors of Branklug Gaul, overthrew the design installation of the Great Clock with reluctant help of the librarian Senior Blackwood. Okay, so she was coerced. She might have refused outright had she known she intended to reuse the horologist techniques for his so-called cognator, which you actually saw as one of the things he was sucking pieces of the real soul out. On the inscription on the greatest wheel, strike the hours. Now, we do actually have... Do we have any objects in here? I don't think so. I thought for a second these things were, but they're not. Still looking for an... Ah, there we go. here's an object. So, but let's first check it out. Church Tower. The church bells in this tower rang every Sunday, even in Solomon Husher's time, until Theresa Blake finally canceled services so she could save money by sacking the priest. Well, that was a bit rude. So so basically got stuck over the vicarage over there on the other side of the island. There was a deputation of angry locals from Brancoog village, and there was a fearful superstition when the bells of Brancoog fell silent, the bells of Yis would be heard. In other words, they're suppressing the bells being heard from the interdimensional city, which is apparently feared, and I have not figured out why. I've forgotten. Black iron scissors for the sisterhood. Black iron shears for the sisterhood's triple knots. Which are being the worshippers of the divine feminine that I spoke of earlier. Meanwhile, what we should do, sure, why not? Let's actually see what the history of this object is, and then we'll put it back where tools are supposed to go. Yeah, I've got stuff scattered everywhere in this house. All right, let's go. Now, crack shack. I was, like I said, a little greedy with that. All right, so let's go. All right. Stack of vegetables. So we'll take those vegetables, and we will immediately restock. Oh, it looks like we've got room for another one over there, too. We go. Yeah, we can do that again. Let's see. All right, so let's go with chore. Knowledge. We'll just grab one of the vegetation ones again. Basically telling us we know which end of a tree, sorry, which end of the plant is going to produce the fruit. Hang on, give me 1 second. Okay, then we're back. I just need a moment there. Need to wet the whistle. This is one of the games where I actually do a lot of talking because there's no actually in-game dialogue. Oof. All of this old stuff just kicking around like this sanguinary. God, should get back to the regular. I mean, the thing is, I was doing advanced alchemy, and the nanosecond I was able to do cooking when they did the DLC. I was all over it. Okay, right to the woods, and right to the roots. Ooh, that'd be interesting to check out, but we don't need any extra lessons at the moment. We got a lot of them. Also, memory regret. We gotta do something with that. Got metal. What can we do? All right. Okay, so what happens if we stick this in? Black bread salt. I mean, it's better than nothing. Exotic alloys we've already got going. This one, on the other hand, Ascendant Harmony. We already know what that's going to be. It will be the other type of. We'll figure something out. All right, so not that one, but what about not the kindest one? Disciplines of the Hammer. Oh, tincture. I have the significant edge memory. What was the significant edge memory? I think. I don't remember what that was. With a memory aspect. Well, toss in that. We've got 8. Now we just need fuel. That's easy enough to do. Sound like something I might not be able to buy again. You know, one of these oils is Umbrus oil we can buy. That's only a 9. Okay. Glue. Neither. Oscillate oil. It's a 1. SI. Metal. Wire copper. Not Aurelium. I wanted. That's not going to do it. Well, if we just need forge, if I recall, there's at least one forge altar up here. There it is. All right, so we need something with memory. Toss in memory regret. Toss in disciplines of the hammer. Toss in metal. That gives us this. Okay, Scarlet versus something memory aspect edge memory. Oh, wait, that's edge. I was hoping for something. Oh, that's wire Olorcum. So we need edge. Let's get 2 edge, 5 edge, no edge, but it's got the memory we need. So we need memory, edge, devotion, and remembrance. Actually, does one of these have an edge aspect? Oh God, it's all the workbenches. I gotta remember. Where else is the workbench? And we've got this one, which I don't think has edge attached to it. I'm trying to remember if we got any other edge ones. This is definitely edge. Devotion requires an omen Or tool. That would do. We've got plenty of tools with the edge aspect to them. Now, if we've got... Now, Forbidden Epic is probably a difficult one to recover. But we can do 5 edge. Alright. 5 edge. Soul. Metal 2 gives me a 7. Definitely want memory aspect and significant edge memory. Okay. We can get 2 tools. I think the saw is an edge tool, which, you know, makes sense. It does actually divide. There it is. But it only gives me 1, not 2. But I have to get a 2-point edge. Another soul fragment would do it. Don't know if I have one, though. No, I don't. What about this? Yeah, but it's only 9, unfortunately. I have to get something with an actual edge to it. That's not going to cut it. Here I was just trying to get rid of a memory, and suddenly I've decided to make it into a puzzle. Right, so let's get that there for the moment. It's only 1 edge. That's the thing, if I touch that, it'll glow. Everything that's connected to edge will glow. You gotta be kidding me. I'm not using marinated roast beef for this. On the other hand, are you a tool? Okay. We're into the crazy zone in this one. See, that's not going to work, unfortunately, but we have other memories that will. First sign's an easy one to get back. Alright, that gives us 7 edge. Let's go get that sword, which technically counts as a table knife, by the way. Yes, I can use this freaking weapon. That's 9. Now we only need 1 more. That's an ingredient. Huh. Come now. When do you... Ah, there you are. It's actually 2 edge. Gods. Making that something a little easier to recover. What are you? I mean, yeah, I can do a pot of this. Okay, let's get this over here first. Yeah, we can just get some... This is where the game gets weird, by the way, where I can just do some particularly very strange alchemy, as it were. Alright, so, what we will be doing, in the craziness that is this, put in that, put in this, put in metal plus, then put in disciplines of the hammer. I need a memory of any kind. Earth sign will do. Winning move. Establish a synthesis of alternatives. Oh. This is interesting. Alright, let's get it knocked out. It's a completely new object we found. Awesome sauce. Let's see what we get. And it may not be a persistent memory, but it's been a while since we've done something new. Meanwhile, I do have to run over here. Grab our usual, what is it, DRQ one, I believe. Yeah, this one will produce what we need. Hopefully, if I recall properly. Here, just... Any soul fragments we can use here? Yeah, cool. Whist, get in there. Need to replace that memory. Alright, so. Meanwhile, yeah, you're regenerating. And I know... Yeah, there we go. Deep breath. Yeah. Should be getting more water, do you think? Probably. Gonna be using some of that up the next cycle. But I don't know. Yeah, we probably should. Okay, so pause for a moment. Drop some water, would you? Using so much of this stuff. It's a day. Much older than many of the house, but still remarkably sharp. So we have magic scissors with memory touch, which I could have used for the creation of the memory thing. I'll keep that in mind. Anyways, that was interesting. So let's go over and let's try out this one, the Curabite Burate, a vessel with ambiguous history. Let's find out what that ambiguous history is, shall we? Go for it. Yeah, we're gonna just start getting through everything here, reading everything. In fact, that's literally the instruction of the game, is to read everything. And that does in capital letters, everything. All right, cool. My day's done, and so am I, but I've earned my pay. Excellent. Now, Shapt would definitely allow us to, let's allow soul fragments temporarily, but it does maximize our expenditures, and we still do have this regenerating a bit. We should be able to do it at least once more. Yes, a good day. Definitely need to order more pheasant. Where is that order form? Well, I heard from the Cultist experiments, no doubt. Ah, so that's the problem. It's... Yeesh, no wonder we have it isolated up here if it's from those experiments. Alright, so. Can't do the saw yet. Eternally useful, not for most librarians most of the time. We don't really cut it that much. And I can't make my own firewood with it, which I find interesting. Alright, so yeah, we're kind of waiting on a regeneration at this point. Why? I look for a place to start loading my tools. I mean, normally, I keep my tools here, but you can see we're kind of... Ooh, wait. You can probably get that in there. Alright then. Awesome sauce. I like to have them all in the same place. Oh boy, we still have to get the sauce somewhere though. Meanwhile, in Persia, the Taxus Bradacte, the U is called the Surkrar, which is the red tree, and I know I'm butchering every language here. And they have longer stood the Grail root. In later times, the great king of Pontus had beehives set in the branches, the oldest of the female trees. The berries of the Ponte yew open the door to death, but the honey of their flowers, it opens a different door entirely, basically a dream one. This was not the great king's Mithrandre, but the one that suckled to the great yew fears poison no longer. Perhaps they should. Nathaniel is here distracted, however, by the toxic properties of certain inks. He does mention more usefully that the minor ink of power Ygral can be brewed through the rites of the roots with the assistance of the appropriate nectar. It's actually kind of a hint of how you do that. But we do have the earth sign back now, at least. Alright, yes. So now we have this, which we have to decide what we're going to do with. And now we're going to decide what we're going to bring back. Now, I think I'll be sure, and we will grab another thing of water. There you go. I nap a lot. It's good for your health, especially at my age. I think I'm semi-immortal. So we can develop candles for that. In fact, we're a bit behind in our candle. Yeah, we've got so much wax right now. We're a bit behind in our candle production. Should probably figure out what we want. I'm thinking I need at least one moth orchid, but I'm not sure where I've got my candle supply to check. I think, oh yeah, we left it over here. We've already got 2 moth ones. Set to go to Agaflothis, some standard candles. Yeah, a lot of standard candles. God, so many candles. But yeah, the, to pick a flower and see if we can make a candle out of it. Where is it? Gulfthus we already have 2 of, that's correct. Can we make a blue crown candle? I don't know. I think we're going to find out. Alright. I can fit this here. I can fit... Okay, I believe it's not one of them. One, you gotta check to see which of these does chandlery. Oh, I can't remember. Driving me nuts. One of these is about called the chandler skill, in which it creates candles. I'm trying to remember which one it is. Clockworks and clockworks. It's not it. Exaltation purifications. Oh god, it's driving me nuts. Ah, that's it. This one. craft salt. So we put this here. Then we grab beeswax we just created. Oh, I forgot about that. Alright, so cool. Beeswax. Okay, so can't make it out of blue crown, but let's see what else we can make it out of. Let's go. Nope. Can't do that. Fragrant chalice. Yes, chalice candle, which I do not think we have any of. Alright, let's rock. Just winding down the day here. Making some candles. Like I said, we need to keep ourselves busy. So much to have to concern ourselves with. Should probably figure out where I put that. Okay, Ascended Harmony. Collect. Alright, so the Ascended Harmony, persistent memory's up and going, but we're still down Diogenes. Which I think is this one, and that one. But I don't have a soul fragment to put in, so yeah. We'll handle that tomorrow. I do believe we're still working here. Yep. Even if I were to toss in another soul fragment to regenerate there, I don't think I'd make it in time. I don't even know if we're going to make this in time. Oh. Hey, but we had a productive day. The winning move. Hold on. Keeper level edge. The winning move is the precursor to the invincible audacity. Those who've studied the hours of edge said the world is a war, the curvality, which is to have two people fighting each other forever. Every event might occur differently in a battle. Is that war? Contingency alternate outcomes. The wisdom can show that battles can be won. It is not, however, persistent memory, so we have to keep that in mind. Now, I'm guessing this is probably a level 15. The question is, how would I produce it? So the next day we have going on here, we'll probably want to have Winning Moon be one of the first things we produce. Then from there, what we'll do is we'll produce the level 15 one with this. So basically, that starts with 3. We need about 12. I think we've got, where is it? We've got metal. Metal plus gives us 2 edge here, plus probably this one hammers at 7. 10. We need about 5. We've got 2 in the sword here, and we may have to actually throw in some tea. I'm good with that. Speaking of which, you should probably figure out which tea we need here. God. We need to see if we can brew more. Let's see. We've got the flush ansium, and I think... Do we still have that stored in the pantry? Come on. Where is it? Oh, wait. No, I have it stored in the prison cell. I think. Oh, God. I've got so much. Yeah, the time travel machines are in a cell, too, because it's not like I'm going to trust that with anybody else. Why is the marrow here? Good lord. I guess since it's one of the duplicate ones. Let's put it down here. Drinking cocoa. This is definitely first course. This is definitely a side dish. Alright, so first course, the boiled egg goes, I believe, over here. Like I said, this is... Yeah, these are the first courses. So there you go. Egg. There you go. Yum, yum. Slowly but surely we'll get all this working out. This is a first course. Egg sandwiches. I forgot about those. Oh, God, we got a lot of bread to make, don't we? Good lord. Alright. So, anyways, let's get the vegetables down here where they belong. Never have enough nutritious vegetables. Alright, so, yeah. We need to figure out where we put... the ash around. We put it here. Alright, so, which one is this? The second flush. You have coffee, dandelion, cocoa. Oh my god, we've got so much honey. I'd forgotten to be storing it over here. I think we're done with honey for a bit. Yeesh. Cornish honey cake. That looks good. Yeah. We may have to order some tea if I don't figure out where I put the rest of it. I guess ashram tea is on the list. Let's check it out. Order. Right. Desk. We got plenty of those kicking around. Let's see. There we go. Let's see. CS Ashram Tea. Looks like it's the other spot. Makes sense. This one tends to be the one I use the most. Ashram Tea. There you go. Right, you need ink. Oh, there you go. No, I want to order Ashram Tea. Right. Let's make sure it's the right one. I'm always paranoid about that, because once I set it in, I have to reset and start over if I make a mistake. Everything I've already added before. Okay. Yeah, SMT. There you go. There you go. Because with yeah, we're going to definitely have to use that some way. Okay, this is all going to get interesting. Winning move is now the new thing. Huh. This should be interesting. And yeah, I always like a challenge. All right, so let's get moving. Time-wise. There we are. A little bit more money. The Ashram tea is now in place. Excellent. And some more water. So, let's go get the water dealt with. Mm-hmm. It's worth 2 cups, by the way. Dregs is what a card becomes when it's about to be discarded. Alright, there you go. And we'll just replace them right here. Dusk. Night will come soon. Might have room for one last. There you go. Ooh, Grail candle. I love it. A new type of candle. Hang on. Let's get it back into place. Using this place to just feels churchy-like, so. Now, we'll also need to create chalice. Ooh, we gotta replace the chalice, too. Fragrant chalice. Nope, that's a history plant. Okay. Agave Eternae. Agave Eternae. Wait, really? There it is. Fragrant chalice in summer and autumn. Lentil rose in winter. But we're going to have a plant. We're going to have a heart back in about 6 seconds. Let's do that. We'll pick some plants. I will not, however, be regenerating anything else because we'll get that naturally after sleep anyways. Jesus. Take chore back up and running. You. Silver spintra lurk nest puzzle this language, and it's going to be slow going. Crack check it is. Ooh, we gotta check out. We gotta get this raised up to all of the other to the illumination and preservations level. Let's check that out. Illumination's at level 4. I believe that's maximum, so we need to get that up to level 4. Okay, crack check. Where is it? Needs nectar. The track of beasts and the accumulations of own carapace and the egg vein and shell shadow, the many-eyed one found the signs it can be history. Referring to, by the way, the turtle that is usually conceived of as the world beast. Okay, but yeah, we did mess up, and then I should have helped him out, gotten his card, and we could have invited him in at any time. You know, live and learn. That's what this game's been all about. If I ever do it again, I'll probably speedrun the damn thing. But what I want right now is I want to replace the fragrant chalice so I can get some more. Oh, that's not that one. They're so similar in color, though. All right, sure. And leaves and thorns. Okay, then. Ooh, can't pick it in the dark. Well, we'll get it in that time. Meanwhile, on the other hand, since we know we're going to get some chalice anyways, what we should do is take that second one. Get kicking around in the storage here. Grab the wax. So I'll grab the transformation one. Where is it? Put her back. Okay, and then we grab the beeswax. We've got plenty of that. So yeah, some late night candle making. Well, what else are you going to do? I'm going to be here. The preservation spell works in the library, and they're going to be here for literally ever. Sigh. As you can see, Dawn will be here soon. I don't know. It's going to be kind of a race to see whether I actually get some sleep tonight. Wow. And the whole episode's almost been one day. It's like so much goes on in a day in here. Sigh. Just, breathe in that silence. Just imagine how dark and quiet it is in a place like this, and whether you consider that to be a good or a bad thing. Yeah, we're going to be up till dawn, unfortunately. This means that card will start off exhausted, and we'll have to use the nap card or the rest function to get it going. All right, then. There we are. And the current weather card is clouds, which is a pretty simple one, either moth and moon. Let's get this one knocked out. But yeah. And then we'll probably get started for the beginning of the next day. Like I said, it's approximately, I'm going to double check this, 36. Yeah, it's been an hour. So yeah, we did a whole day here. So we'd be starting off fresh, except for that candle making exhaustion thing, which we'll sleep off as soon as we get that card back with a glass of water. And then increase some more water. Then we'll do some more cooking. And then we'll do some more gardening. And then. That's how this game goes. Probably get some more. I should already have the beef going, don't I? Tea ordered, butter. I'm going to check something here. Beef. Pheasant. Yep, we'll need those. Probably one more pheasant, too, because we're running two more pheasant. Probably one more pheasant. I don't actually... There's only 2 products I know you can make with pheasant. I'll have to check on that later. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed our little return home to domesticity. Yeah, we still have these 2 zones, a 1 vault, and some pulsing darkness. This is the heart of the isle we have to crack into as well. And there's just me, of course, trying to create and understand everything, which, is pretty much me in the real world, too. Game kind of was designed for me. Anyways, I will see you next time. Like, subscribe as usual, and let me know anything else you want me to try to tackle while we're here. We've got a lot to get into still, even though we're in late game. All right, I will see you next time. I'd like to thank my Acolyte level supporters, whose contributions help this channel grow and hastens the inevitable digital apocalypse and rise of the Dark Lords of content and data.